You are so odd. You're more like a game show host. You are so odd.
And
Oh man, I'm nervous for you, but I'm jealous too. I'm equal parts.
oh man, this is this is the part where, like, in the story it just doesn't make sense. I was talking about this earlier with my friend Jason. I want to have him on the show too. He's a painter. Like, real life doesn't make sense.
No.
Like, he was telling me a story about his life, and it's just like, um, I'll skip the whole story, but like, he's walking down a street like outside of San Francisco, like on mescaline, naked. And then 3 days later, he meets like the man of his dreams, and they spend the rest of their lives together.
Incredible.
Yeah. And like, when I'm gonna bring the story up again when I have him on so he can tell it. But like, I just bring that up to allude, like, if you were writing that story fictionally, that would be a shitty story. It doesn't make sense.
It
It's
does
like,
not make sense.
no, you were just
Yeah.
a wild man, and then all of a sudden 3 days later, like, happily ever after. Like, fuck that. I would turn that off. Like, that's lazy writing.
Yes,
But
it is. It just
real life-
just worked out. The story's internal. The story's
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah. But real life doesn't have to be like that. So that's what I have faith in, that's happening soon.
Yeah,
Like, that thing that didn't make sense just happens.
real life is interesting because there is the synchronicities out there. There is the universe at play. There is all these metaphysical, wonderful things that we can lean on. But then there's the deep, dark, hard fear and hunger, and if you're cut, you bleed. Relationships take work. Like, things take work.
Mm-hmm.
I had a woman I dated a long time ago because, and I'm a writer, and I've always been one. I just didn't know it at some times in my life.
Yeah.
And I always had this like idea of this grand design of like, a romantic love story between somebody, and like how things work out. And so I just kind of was always on autopilot because that's how I felt life was supposed to be. And so I imagine that's how everybody should be.
Yeah.
But life isn't like this. Life isn't a rom-com.
That's a very TV kid mentality.
Totally is. And,
Yeah.
and it's a hard lesson to learn that it isn't that way, because life is not a romantic comedy. It is not a, the good guy doesn't always win. Like, there is some real hard lessons out there that you have to learn. And
Sorry, I lost you for like 10 seconds there. You kind of glitched out.
I was just saying, life is, she would say that, like, she would get mad at me sometimes because I was just living in that zone. And she'd say, life is not like a story or a song that you're writing. Life is not this piece of art. And so it's an interesting argument to have, because it can be if you look at it that way.
Like, it kind of is if you make it into it.
But you're not the creator of it.
Yeah.
That's where that's where you have to let go of things and allow the creator to write the story for you.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to do because, I don't know, it's just that, but I always thought that was really interesting, that argument with her and I, because it was such a different dualistic look at the world of like, and both sides are right. She was absolutely right. And I was right, because it is correct.
Yeah.
But also, life is, even with relationships, you're not going to get the girl just because you're the goofy sweetheart guy that does comedy. In reality, that does not get the girl. That scares the girl away, because it's kind of like a stalker.
Yeah. Yeah,
Stalkers
dude.
do.
Oh man, like, it's in episode 2 of How to Write a Novel in 5 Years, Ordinary World Part B. But like, I tell a story like this. I tell many stories like this. Like, I spent my life living in tropes.
You are so odd.